So I'm really here to help you be more enlightened. Is really my purpose on the planet, is help people find a way that's really profound and deep and true for them. And when I began my personal journey of spiritual enlightenment, is the term I like to use instead of enlightenment, I set out to really discover what is the nature of reality, what is this realm, is there a creator, what's creation, and what is my purpose as a creature, what am I doing here? So my background in college is in religions of the world. I always looked at the unity in different religions. Then I studied in India, studied in Africa, studied with a Tibetan teacher, all really early on in my life. And so what I really saw as I was putting things together for myself was two things. Number one, there is no one right way to be enlightened. And enlightenment is for real. It's not just a term. I mean, people can be truly enlightened. And then number two is that everybody's responsible for being enlightened or enlightened. Like somebody can't, ideally, just touch you on the head and go, okay, you're free, go and play now. If there is somebody who can do that, and there are really a few who can just touch you and boom, you're totally cleansed and free. But they're far and few between. So the second point I'm making is that each person is responsible for finding their own way. And the other point is that there is no one right way. So that's what I learned. There's no one right way to be enlightened, and you are responsible for finding a way that's right for you. Because if you don't have a way in this lifetime, it's going to be really brutal. So I was able to put a way together that was good for me back in the day 20 years ago. And I noticed that as a chiropractor, I was able to help people not only adjusting their bodies, but adjusting their minds as well. And so I was able to help people deal with their stress and deal with their existential issues about why am I here and what is this. And what came out of that was a technique that I created called the right way. It stands for 5 simple words, and it's on your handout. Respect, intelligence, gallantry for the men, grace for the women, humor, and true. And essentially putting the right way together for me was a process of how can I help people stay true to themselves. Because the underlying theme of the right way is that you have to be true to yourself. Whatever you think that means, whoever you think you are. In other words, one teacher may say enlightenment means this, another teacher may say enlightenment means that, another teacher will say enlightenment means this, and they're all right. They all have thousands and bazillions of followers, and they're all convinced, and they probably are, that they're enlightened too by following a teacher. And yet you may take a student from teacher A and put him in teacher C's group and go, I'm not getting anything out of this. Do you know what I'm talking about? So in other words, you have to find teachers and mentors and teachings that are really right for you. And especially in the West, there's usually not going to be just one teacher you're ever going to have, because we have such a wide variety of teachers and teachings here. So putting together a teaching or a way that works for you takes a lot of effort. So the right way was a method that I put together that helped me keep it together, if you can call my life somewhat together. Those who know me might not say that, but it's together for me. And so I put together a way that was right for me, but I also noticed it helped other people. And these 5 words, respect, intelligence, grace for the women, gallantry for the men, humor, and true, and the definitions are on these sheets of paper here, are basically the virtues that I discovered for myself that really kept me happy, healthy, and holy. That if I could be respectful of myself and the other, if I could be intelligent within myself and the other, if I could be heartfully engaging in acts of courage and courtesy with other people, meaning graceful or gallant, if I could celebrate in good times and hard times, meaning humorous, and if I could be true to myself, which means living my life with integrity, then I would be happy, healthy, and holy. So I took these virtues that the universe seems to give us, respect and intelligence and grace and humor and true, and put together this method, which we don't have the time to go over entirely today, but I will teach you some very simple parts of it, because it will definitely serve as a stress management tool. So what I want to emphasize is that if you don't have a way in life, it's going to be tricky. You have to have some path or some method or something that holds you together. And that method should give you some sense as to, like, what is the nature of reality? What is this realm? So it's important to know what you are. It's equally important to know who you are. And I would define who you are as, who are you at your core, most essential, highest self? Or what are your highest qualities? So I call them virtues. Does that make any sense at all? You know, knowing who you are at the deepest levels of reality. And here's what I've discovered. Most people really know their virtues, but because they don't practice them very well, they feel like they're not being virtuous. They feel like they sort of give up on life. You know, I know that I should be more respectful, but I'm not very good at it. I fight with my wife, or I fight with my coworkers, whatever. So later on, when we do this exercise about what are your virtues, the question won't be how well do you practice your virtues. It'll be what are they? Who are you really? Because if you have a sense as to what is the nature of reality and who you are, then you can handle any stressful situation, is my premise.